Yeah, I believe. I think him not cutting the weight, I think he'll be a more filled out version of himself. He wouldn't have left like so much in the weight cut. I think this is going to be the toughest Makhachev. So I don't expect to have a big weight.
A small guy. He is big. I'm not sure how big Jack is. I've never seen him in person, but I don't think Islam's going to be undersized when they face off. Uh, I don't think it's going to be about the size. To me, it's going to come down to the execution. If Islam can secure the takedowns, Jack's takedown defense, his get ups, I think that's going to be the story of the fight. I don't think size is going to be the story of this fight.
Bro, I'm not trying to count Islam out, but I just know Jack. I know that when Jack keeps getting up, it's going to be a problem. And Islam's going to be forced to strike. And when he's forced to strike with Jack, he's going to get hurt. Islam, I think, is the best of the Dagestanis. One of the best fighters in history. One of the most efficient. But when it comes to Jack, like, look, even Dustin's able to get up and, like, stop his submissions. And Dustin's a fucking gun. And also, I've seen live what Volk can do with Islam when they were in Perth.
Dustin has great boxing, but I still think Jack is on the boxing level.
Levels! And he's touching him. So that's why I know he's going to hurt Islam. I do think, Islam, I'm not disrespecting. I think Islam will be able to get him down, but for how long? It's not for long. And also he's going to get stuffed from the beginning, in the middle, till Jack ends it. In this fight, not just because it's Anzac United, I really think that Jack Della Maddalena has the skills to stifle Islam's game and be able to just put it on the feet and knock him out. Might be second round, might be third, but we'll see.
With fight night only days away, excitement for Islam Makhachev versus Jack Della Maddalena has reached full intensity. Fans are divided, analysts are arguing, and every training clip adds more fuel to the hype. Two elite fighters in their prime, two completely different styles, and one massive collision course set for UFC 322. The entire MMA world is asking the same question: who leaves the cage wearing the gold?
I would think Islam by decision, but if Jack does win, I'm not going to be totally blown away if he lands a shot that hurts Islam or a knee or something. Obviously, if he beats Islam by decision or submits Islam, then I'm going to be blown away. But I got to go with Islam by decision. That's if I was betting on it, that's what I would bet on.
As the tension keeps rising, Michael Bisping has stepped into the spotlight with a breakdown that has fans debating nonstop. While analyzing the matchup, he pointed out the obvious threat zones: Jack Della Maddalena's razor-sharp striking versus Islam Makhachev's dominant, world-class grappling. But it was Bisping's take on Islam's legacy that truly lit up the conversation. He dismissed the idea that a welterweight loss would damage anything, reminding everyone that Islam's lightweight reign is already iconic, stacked with title defenses, elite competition, and a legacy that won't fade just because he dares to challenge himself at 170.
It all. Main event, Jack Della Maddalena, Islam Makhachev. We've talked about this a lot. Jack Della Maddalena's got the boxing, Islam's got the wrestling. I saw a thing this morning on Twitter. Somebody said, if Islam loses, does that affect his legacy? And I responded, I put, no. And everyone's like, why? Explain. And I thought that's pretty obvious. He's the greatest lightweight fighter that the sport's ever seen. He defended the belt 4 times. He's beaten great fighters. Just because he goes up to 170 and potentially might lose to Jack, I don't think that would affect the work he's done in the past.
And Bisping didn't stop there. He reminded fans that while Jack Della Maddalena's boxing steals most of the attention, Islam Makhachev is far from limited on the feet. This is the same fighter who dropped Alexander Volkanovski with a perfectly placed head kick, something no one had ever done. He also traded confidently in stand-up exchanges with Dustin Poirier, one of the most polished strikers in the division. So yes, Jack's hands are dangerous, but dismissing Islam's striking is lazy analysis. He has repeatedly shown he can shift a fight with his kicks or punches long before the grappling even begins.
People talk about the striking, obviously, of Jack. When you look at Islam Makhachev, he did knock out Alexander Volkanovski cold, pretty much.
Yeah, beautiful
with a head kick. No one else has done that. He did have moments on the feet against Dustin Poirier, who's a very, very good striker.
Yeah.
Paul Felder jumped in, agreeing that Islam isn't a weak striker at all, just calculated, efficient, and perfectly matched to his world-class grappling. He explained that Islam's willingness to trade on the feet actually helps set up his takedowns, unlike Khabib's non-stop forward pressure style. But Felder also cautioned that giving Jack too much time and striking range could backfire quickly. We've seen fighters get stuck in those long exchanges where Jack's precision, timing, and conditioning take over. With Volkanovski helping, Craig Jones sharpening the details, and Jack looking laser-focused, Felder said he's hyped for this matchup and can't wait to see it unfold live.
A terrible striker at all. I just think he's very basic, and I don't mean that in a bad way. I think he knows what works, and he uses it to great effect mixed in with his advanced grappling, right? But he's not afraid to trade, which is why I think Islam does have so much success with not having to shoot over and over. Like Khabib was just a maniac when it came to pressure and wrestling and just throwing big punches into his shots. He never let off the gas, whereas Islam can sit, pick shots, trade with you for a little bit, get close enough, then try to grab you. He still has failed shot attempts, and then he still manages to get it to the ground, but nowhere near like, his mentor, Khabib, who would just be shooting from across the cage, didn't give a shit, was just trying to get a hold of you. Islam is much more willing to strike. Is that a problem, though? Is that a problem? At any moment, if you look at Bilal was forced to kind of have to exchange at length with Jack. And the longer you give him, Jack shows up in great shape. I've been watching some of his YouTube and stuff like that, man. He seems very dialed. He's got Volk coming and visiting him. They've been specifically going over it. And Craig Jones, who just seems to really understand these guys on a level to be able to defend it. I love this fight. I cannot wait to go there and be in the arena for this fight. I love Jack Della Maddalena, even though he's in my boys' division. He's in Bilal's division.
Adding to the debate, Dricus du Plessis jumped in with his take on the matchup, emphasizing the clear advantage Islam Makhachev holds on paper. He noted that Islam has already run through the elite of his division, earning his pound-for-pound status through championship-level dominance. While some believe Jack will come in as the naturally bigger man, Dricus isn't convinced that matters. Islam's long camp appears focused on adding size the right way, and now he looks strong, filled out, and fully ready for 170. As much as he wants Jack to win, Dricus admits he can't bet against Makhachev here.
Get his opponents versus Makhachev's opponents. Makhachev has beaten the who's who. He is where he is, and he was pound for pound for very long. Pound for pound king for a very good reason. People think Jack Della is going to be bigger. I don't think so. I've now lately seen, and that's why they did such a long camp, to pick up that weight correctly. And he looks big, and he looks thick, and he looks strong. I mean, no doubt, he's a hard worker. With this one, I think, with Jack Della, I love his style, I love him, I like his personality. I would love for him to win that belt, but unfortunately, I cannot go against Makhachev in this one. I think he is just so good. I think he's so good, and I don't think he's going to give up anything going up a weight. I think he's going to be great at that weight, to be honest.
Make history.
Absolutely.
On the other hand, Israel Adesanya shared why Jack Della Maddalena should never be underestimated. He recalled meeting Jack years ago and immediately noticing his quiet intensity, work ethic, and no-nonsense style, the kind of fighter whose dedication says everything without a word. Watching Jack rise in the UFC only confirmed it. His crisp boxing, ruthless body shots, slick scrambles, and non-stop pressure keep every opponent uncomfortable. He stuffs takedowns, counters naturally, and stays in your face every second. Adesanya's message was simple: overlook Jack for even a moment, and he'll make you pay for it.
It's just not the same as everybody else. I've met Jack when I did a seminar at their gym fucking years ago, me and Brad Riddell, years ago, and I met him and his brother. And even though he was very quiet, he stood out to me. He stood out to me just because of the way he was working and the style. And watching him fight when he got in the UFC, I didn't really see him too much before he got in the UFC, but when he got in the UFC, I was like, oh, what the fuck? And I saw his old highlights and I was like, oh shit. Yeah, Jack is just a guy who silently worked. Well, his work spoke for himself. He fucking destroyed my boys, Gilbert and Randy, and everybody else in his way. He just finds a way to it's body work. I love the body banging. He does the way he thought, head, body, head. He just mixes it up so well. And it scrambles as well. That's one thing I think is gonna be, talk to Tim. Tim told me, if you look at Jack, and I'm like, yeah, I've rolled with Jack. I've sparred with Jack light. Nothing too crazy. We're just, moving around a little something. But yeah, he's He's the one, bro. He's the guy that you can't just count out, because if you do, you'll go to sleep. I'm a big fan of his style. He's got great boxing, great scrambles, knows how to stuff a takedown and attack